I believe I'm recording. So, welcome again to another edition of What the Fuck happenings in the YouTube atheist community. And, debate fun. Yeah. Anyway, so last night, it was pretty good. The juggernaut guy was very useful again. I did kick him finally because I just got so pissed off. I guess he just keeps repeating the same theme. You have to keep going over it and over it. But it was he's useful for that purpose, though, of having to make these arguments. So it kind of got to the subject of the main theme, which is something I've talked about for years. I didn't realize I got another leaning tree there. Take care of that. Yeah, this one's leaning a little too. Oh, fuck, anyway. These are just sick of climbing over this shit. Gotta get rid of these just because I'm gonna kill myself climbing. Anyway, so this idea of this word justice and the idea of whether the distinction I'm going to make, I'm going to start maybe calling them notional values versus real values. Because there's a huge difference between things valued as something you sense the value, you sense there's some value, and values you can demonstrate logically. So there's a difference between a value understood and a value felt. So the argument was basically he had some idea, okay, that value is derived, that there's some sort of, that you can acquire justice through retribution alone. That outside of the deterrent effect, that there's some value, in giving people what they deserve without any deterrence effect. And I would argue there clearly isn't. And certainly if this is a nice mess, yeah, four-wheeler craziness. Anyway, it does create quite a blight. This water. I got to come up with another path, as this one's becoming a stream bed. Anyway, this is, you can't do this. This is too messy. Yeah, altogether. Dirt tracks. Yeah, so, oh God, that was a mistake. Sorry. Oh, that's a mistake. There's not too many places to step here that aren't a mistake. Yeah, so this idea that, okay, without deterrence, there's no point. Okay, as much as we want the satisfaction of teaching them a lesson or something, if the lesson isn't going to have an effect on behavior, it's a pointless lesson. And so we had a lengthy discussion about how, in the end, the only thing that's going to matter is how much suffering there is, and that you really can't. My simple argument was that you can't fix a broken leg by breaking another leg. It just doesn't fix it. It just creates more bad. And if there's no redeeming prevention of bad for the bad, then you can't logically justify it. In spite of how it makes you, in spite of what you feel, your feelings are important in terms of, yes, you're a feeling thing and we have to try to comfort you, but I'm just saying your demand for justice, in the sense without deterrence, is just a demand for more wasted suffering. And waste can't fix waste. You can't undo waste with more waste. This is just not any more complicated than that. I guess these are dog prints. Yeah. Anyway, dogs in my woods. Anyway, you end up feeling hunted. So anyway, that was a dominant theme. I just kept going over it and over it and over it and trying to do it's kind of a Gandhi-esque philosophical point, I think, but it's critically important for people to recognize that their emotional comfort is not necessarily rational or logical or sensible, that the things we want emotionally aren't necessarily that they're not coherent to reason and logic and proportionality and sensibility. What else? And it's just the way it is. And so you have to just accept that in yourself, that you have these asshole sensations of what should be, and they're just sensations. They're not rationally well thought out understanding. And they certainly, public policy should be entirely based on what can be rationally defended as constructive and productive, towards the sensible end of reducing harm, preventing unnecessary suffering. Yeah. So, but anyway, it's one of those critically important things, kind of like the fundamental argument regarding our life affirmation tendency, and understanding that there are these perceptions of things that are needed by us that are projections of need, that we're not recognizing a problem that needs to be solved. We're the problem that needs to be solved. Our discomfort is the only problem, and that's a huge, oh God. Well, this other asshole made it across here, so I guess if they can do it, I can do it. But maybe I should try to clean some of it. Oh man, if this freezes before I get home, I will have big problems. Yeah, that'll be really a mess. Let's see, what can be my plan here? It's always good to have a plan. Whoa. This is the rock of no return. It has a it's pointed in the negative direction. Yeah. Oh, what the hell? I got no real choices here. But yeah, I don't know. I gotta do something. I think that this is just way too slippery. Oof. Okay. So where was I? All right. Pull this log. Ugh. Whoa. Maybe I'll pull it this way. I put it here. I can't get it out of my way now. Always something. Crap. I'll put crap on there. I guess I should just get a real fast. Whoa. That almost did me in just here. Fuck, I'm just doomed, I think. Alright, that gives me some hope. This is all gonna get me wet. He stepped there and it worked for him, so I guess I'll try it. I think I'm gonna get wet going home. Anyway, it's deep here. Alright, where was I? Yeah, you're still there. Sorry. Alright, so anyway, the MP3 is linked below, and so it's towards the middle end, and the MP3 should be complete. So the first couple hours were a waste, as usual. And there was a whole part where nobody's microphones was working, and so we had to keep jumping around to different rooms, try to figure out what was wrong, and we figured out it was the push the talk button that was broken, and we fixed it, and then we were off to the races. So yeah, somewhere like 2 or 3 hours in might get interesting. And then the end was, the last hour was, I don't know, I think I was watching kitten videos. So yeah, I was pretty much done. Yeah, so I guess that's it. So moving on, the videos of the week were sort of dominated by the anti-bullshit man bullshit. And as I've stated, I like anti-bullshit man, but you know, we just, I don't know, we have a real problem communicating, and you know, whatever, at least in some context. I just think he's horribly disrespectful, and you know, there's only so much of that shit I'll take, and then I'll say fuck you. So I'm in the fuck you stage. Let's see, beyond that, yeah, so I'm still working on his blog. I should be able to get through that this week, and we'll see where we go from there. Yeah, nobody else makes much. Professor Anton, he keeps trying to defend some sort of idea that, you know, almost that the thoughts in our head are somehow more real, you know, than reality. And I think that's bullshit. If we, you know, if we actually have thoughts in our head that are actually end up being coherent to reality and actually end up accurately describing it, well then those are good thoughts. But everything else is, you know, pretty much a lie or bullshit. There's nothing good about being wrong. Really. Yeah, I mean, wrong is not a good thing. So, yeah, fuck that. Let's see what else. Oh, Anticontavad. Yeah, his last video was just such a self-indulgent pile of mush. You know, just talking about, well, look, it's cold, and cold is unpleasant, but look, I really love it. It exhilarates me. I benefit from it. Yeah. Let's hear that one about cancer therapy. Yeah, tell me how much you love it as a weight loss strategy. Yeah, or something like that. I mean, this is just so... these argument techniques are just so cheap and tacky. Yeah, we all get horny. We're all, you know, you could just show pictures of yummy desserts. Why don't you just make a video and show pictures of yummy desserts that are shaped like breasts? I'm sure there's a ton of Google images of like puddings and cakes that are shaped like breasts. And yeah, so why bother making a rational argument? You can just, you know, play with silly little childish images of reality and say that's reality. I mean, it's just, you know, it's just bullshit, you know, to sit there and, you know, trying to find, you know, you go, I mean, this is the kind of guy who would show up at a murder scene and then start talking about how, well, look how carefully he, you know, laid the body down in the tub. And, you know, look at the tires straight on the victim. And, you know, it's just, you know, totally not on the subject. Merely because he doesn't want to deal with the subject, which is replicating molecule, natural selection, psychotically addicted psychology, you know. But no, we'll just pretend there's some other bullshit going on here because it's to their comfort, convenience. So, very irritating. So anyway, what else? You know, what else is on YouTube? I saw a piece of some Thunderfoot video, and it was just so lame. I mean, he really has lost it. He has no clue. So, he's going back to arguing with creationists. And so, some creationists said, let's have a serious debate. No insults, blah, blah, blah. And so, Thunderfoot then makes a video saying why people laugh at creationists. That basically mocks the creationist, right? And the creationist responds with something, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'll accept your insults, and but let's see if you're not too big a pussy not to run away from the real argument. And because the guy said, Thunderfoot, you're a pussy, in response to Thunderfoot saying why people laugh at creationists, that guy somehow violated the insult rules, which is laughable, right? I mean, come on. It's just hilarious. And so then he just keeps doing his tactic, which is to show all those, like, I mean, it's so fail to use, like, those fail images and stuff. You know, those images with the definition underneath them. I mean, what is that? 1942 internet now? Isn't that about, you know, isn't that played out? Yeah, he's resorting, the whole video is that now. All his videos, that's the whole video, is image mockery. Every word he uses, he throws an image up to highlight the word. Yeah, I mean, he's supposed to be an intellectual, and he's arguing with pictures. He's using pictures because people don't understand the words, apparently. His audience doesn't understand words. His atheist audience. Then he has to draw them a picture. But, you know, and then he plays the guy saying the same thing over and over again. I mean, that's just such an abusive tactic. You can make anything sound stupid by doing that. You could take Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech and turn it into crap by doing that. So, wow, way to go. You have to have a PhD to figure out how to use image insults and resort to the argument from mockery. Yeah, wow. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I mean, somebody ought to make videos why I wouldn't humiliate myself by hanging out with an atheist, because obviously they're petty losers who have to resort to cheap tactics to make a point. So anyway, he's pretty much nothing more than a baboon with glasses on or something. You know, make the baboon look smart, but still a baboon. That's Thunderfoot. Okay. I think we're almost done. Feels like Charlie Brown out here right now. I feel totally Charlie Brown. You know, it just feels like, just some sort of loser Christmas thing. Oh, fuck this. I'll walk across this one. See, that's what they ought to do down there. Just let you walk across. Anyway. Oh, I do feel a little bit of a tingle in my feet, though. We do have a little bit of moisture penetration. I don't know exactly how, but these boots are pretty waterproof, but shit happens, as they say. Alright. Oh, bear track there. For sure. What the hell is that? That's gotta be a dog. It's a dog. I don't know. Something was digging in here. Fucking. I think it's a little bear. Little bear. Oh, God. I'm exhausted now. Anyway. My nose is runny. What else can I complain about? I think that's good enough. Alright. So, I guess I'll speak to you sometime later with a different and perhaps more interesting video. Yeah, I gotta do, I know. It's okay, you can nag me. I mean, I gotta do something profound and interesting and all that shit. I'm working on it. Soon. Anyway, see you next time. Glove off. Camera off. Kind of a nice sky. Getting kind of dark. Light. Some days, nothing goes right. So in this crappy weather, the sump pump hose froze, and water in the basement, all under the house, and fairly brutal. I have done it. Anyway, there's the setting. You can really hear the difference. The snow's all crunchy now. Not a very useful add-on. I don't think I have anything to add. Yeah, I just really, I wish there was a bus. I hate buses, but I would take the bus. If there was a bus to my house from here, I would take it. Yeah, I mean, it really is. It's funny how it's so much draggier on your feet when you have to break through the snow to take your next step. Anyway, I think I'm done complaining. Really, it's kind of a pretty sky. I really like it. Whoa, looks kind of nuclear winter or something. Anyway, so next time. Kind of nice. Yeah. Very nice indeed. Wow, kind of nice too. So at least some good scenery out here. Alright, let's see if I can get across here without disaster. Whoa. 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 Okay, it's not that bad. Look at that, I gotta step in that hole. Ugh. Okay. Oh, that wasn't so bad. Yeah, not bad at all. Make it home before dark. That. Man, I love that. I'll just sit here and look at that for a while. Yeah. Alright, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, see you next time. Just make your eye want to go back to it. It's just more. Gary, give more.